The Hollow House. When Laura and Ben stumbled across the listing, it felt too good to be true. A sprawling Victorian estate nestled in the woods outside Hudson Valley, priced like a condemned shack. The realtor muttered something vague about local history, and not for the faint of heart, but Laura brushed it off. They'd been through hell trying to get pregnant, and this house, big enough to raise 3 kids, maybe more, felt like a reward. 30 years is a long time, Ben had said. Whatever happened here, it's just history now. They moved in on a fog-drenched Thursday, sunlight spilling like milk over the rotted banister and stained glass windows. The first few weeks were uneventful, almost peaceful. Laura painted the nursery. Ben rebuilt the porch. The only oddity was the basement, a cavernous, stone-floored crypt of a room, always 10 degrees colder, even in summer. They kept it locked. Then came the whispers. It started at night, murmurs echoing through the heating vents. Laura blamed the wind. Ben said maybe the pipes. But one evening, as they lay in bed, a voice crawled through the dark. "Bring the light. The circle awaits." Ben bolted upright. "Did you hear that?" Laura nodded, her mouth a tight line. The next morning, the word offering was scrawled across the nursery wall in ash. No windows were broken, no signs of a break-in. Ben tried to burn sage. Laura found old newspaper clippings tucked beneath a floorboard. Local cult dies in ritual suicide. 18 dead. Bodies arranged in circle. 2 leaders missing. They called the sheriff's office. A young deputy came out, awkward and dismissive. "It's a weird place," he said, "but nobody's been back since the cleanup. Place was sealed. House was empty." But it wasn't empty. Laura began sleepwalking. She'd wake with muddy feet, standing in the basement, facing the far wall, where Ben later found faded chalk lines forming a perfect circle. She started whispering in her sleep, names neither of them recognized. One night she carved a spiral into the headboard with her fingernail. They tried to leave. The car wouldn't start. Ben's phone was dead. Laura's kept playing static until a voice, distorted and cold, spoke through it. "We are not finished." Ben screamed. Laura laughed. The next morning the walls were bleeding, a thick black sludge leaking from behind the wallpaper. Laura stood in the hallway, eyes glassy, her mouth moving in silent prayer. Ben dragged her outside, barefoot through the frost. They made it halfway to the tree line before she stopped, suddenly calm. "They're waiting," she whispered. "It has to end." She took his hand and led him back inside. In the basement the circle had reappeared, freshly drawn in crimson chalk, 20 candles flickering though neither had lit them. A spot in the center glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. Laura stepped into the circle. Ben followed. They knelt. They smiled. And they drank. 2 empty glasses were found days later, nestled between their slumped bodies, hands clasped like lovers in a wedding photo. No signs of forced entry. No suicide note. The only clue was a line of ash scrawled across the basement wall. "The circle is whole again." Some stories you don't tell, not because they aren't true, but because the moment you speak them aloud, they start looking for you.